Now your last fight for the main card is coming at you from the light heavyweight division. We have Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menifield. Let's get on to the Jimmy Crute side first. Jimmy Crute is 26 years old. He's 6'2", 74-inch reach. Recently, he's had 2 KOs he's coming off of. Actually, he's coming off of a little bit of a year layoff, but we'll get into more of that stuff in the write-up. But as of right now, you guys, he's been knocked out by Jamal Hill. And he got knocked out by Anthony Smith. Let's talk about that Anthony Smith one just a minute, because that Anthony Smith fight, I'm not going to lie to you guys, we were on the Jimmy Crute side. Jimmy Crute had come into that fight saying, like, guys, I know what I have to do to win this fight. I have to do A, B, and C, and I got it down. I, having seen Jimmy Crute tell me that he's got A, B, C all before, was like, okay, this guy's got it. He's got it, right? He goes out there. He was only supposed to strike with Anthony Smith for a while in order to kind of beat up his front leg, and then he was going to look for takedowns. That was his game plan coming in. He goes out there and tries to strike with Anthony Smith more than what he was supposed to, and he ends up getting leg kicked himself. When he got leg kicked, he ended up getting dead leg. That's when you hit a nerve in the leg and it just goes out completely. So Jimmy Crute decides, okay, time for plan A. Not plan B and C like I was doing. Time for plan A. Take him down. Took him down pretty much with ease and was controlling him and doing work down there, which is what the game plan was going to be this whole time. He was coming in shape, ready to go, and he ended up, I don't know, something happened to him, and talking to him later, he gassed a little bit. There was a lot of things going on leading up to that fight that were issues, but one thing is, like, he's a younger fighter. He's not the most reliable fighter either. He doesn't necessarily have the best fight IQ. And now we know he's susceptible to leg kicks. Once you get dead leg like that, opponents know that, and then that's something that they target. But in the end, Jimmy Crute, he suffers from not being able to follow a game plan. I think that's where the odds makers lined him the way they did. But let's look at the Alonzo Menifield side. Alonzo Menifield is 35 years old. He's 6 foot, 76-inch reach, so he's going to have a reach advantage. The thing about Alonzo Menifield, he's strong, he's powerful, but he's sloppy. He's really sloppy. He's inexperienced in MMA, and that came across in a lot of his fights. But his camp is on top of him. They're trying to get him better and trying to... He's killing people in the gym. Like, why don't you just do what you do in the gym? No one takes you down in the gym. You're constantly beating people to the punch in the gym. You're hitting your straight shots. But for some odd reason, you go out in the fight, you get a little bit of that adrenaline. He starts winging shots and then hitting with like doing some crazy stuff. It's effective, but it's not necessarily the crisp technique that you saw in the gym. And so you have to start to wonder, does Alonzo Menifield have some kind of a mental block when it comes down to performing on the night of the fight? Again, it's something he's been working on. It's something that he knows, he's identified and said, look, I have an issue. For some odd reason, I'm ready to go. I am the most confident ever, the best game plan. But when I get out there, this adrenaline hits me and I gas out. I forget what I'm doing. My coach is yelling things, and I'm like a zombie. I just move forward and do my thing and swing from crazy. Loses all that, right? Loses all that, the stuff he's worked on. But he's going to have a path to victory, because we've seen Jimmy Crute come out here with a game plan and not successfully execute it. That doesn't necessarily instill like this confidence. Oh, I'm going to bet Jimmy Crute and he's going to dominate, right? He's got the potential to dominate. If he comes out here, follows his game plan, takes Alonzo Menifield down, he could work Alonzo Menifield. He can win this thing by ground and pound, by submission easily. Alonzo Menifield doesn't necessarily do the appropriate things on the ground to put himself in the appropriate position to not be in danger for those submissions that Jimmy Crute will be able to hit. But Alonzo Menifield's like, hey, he's been knocked out before. I can lure him in. I can lure him in to striking, and I can knock this guy out. He's gonna be hitting those uppercuts. You know, we saw it last week. Derek Lewis had a shot. Derek Lewis had a chance. But what happened? Derek Lewis got taken down and dominated, and he got finished, right? This is another one of those fights. Alonzo Menifield has a chance. Alonzo Menifield, initially, because he's so strong and he has that football background, big old legs, right? He can stuff takedowns. He will be able to stuff them. At that point, is Jimmy Crute's gas going to be there? Because we have seen Jimmy Crute fall into the same thing. So there's a lot of value on the Alonzo Menifield side. If you're on Alonzo Menifield, I'm like, I see it. I can see the path of victory. Thing is like you're sitting out there and you're like, Jimmy Crute's got the better path to victory if he follows it, the more easy path. Those standing knockouts aren't necessarily, they don't come all the time, but we have seen Jimmy Crute knocked out. Alonzo Menifield, huge step up for him. He's the striker in this matchup. He's the value side, but at the end of the day, guys, I do favor Jimmy Crute slightly. I think Jimmy Crute will come out here and implement his game plan. That's what he's supposed to do. So right now, that's where it is. Now, if I get information on these two fighters or some information that allows me to look at the value side and be like, I understand why now we need to bet Alonzo Menifield, you're going to see that on Friday in the write-up. So you guys tune in. Right now, favor Jimmy Crute. Tune in the write-up because I do see the value in Alonzo Menifield. I really do. I need to see some things, though, and I need to figure out what's going on in his head. Now, if you guys like this kind of content, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that post notification button. Also, comment down below who you think's going to win this fight because Saturday, February 11th, is going to be a great day to win, baby. Let's get it.